Good afternoon, everybody, or whatever the time is. I've chosen today really just to talk about the people side of the business because obviously, with my executive business coaching experience, it kind of brings our two worlds together. And there's three key elements I just want to discuss today. The first one being change and the management of change. Then looking at motivation and how we keep our people motivated in this very difficult time. And then what do we need to think of as leaders moving forward? So that will be the three areas I'll cover. So, change is happening, and even before COVID, change was happening, but it's obviously almost happening every day, every hour. And for most of us, we don't like change. We're scared of change. It's something that we want to stay away from. So what do we do now? And that's really the first part of what I want to answer. And I think in that, it's important that we all understand change because people around us, you will see them in these four pillars of change. And as I talk through these, I would like you all to think of an example which I'm sure most of you have felt in your life. Going out to your car, putting your key in the ignition and turning the key, and nothing happens. The first thing that we do is we go into that denial stage and we keep turning the key. Where the car must start, but it doesn't start, and we keep turning the key. And all of us have gone through in different levels that phase of denial. Then after that, you go into a confused state and you start doing silly things. Have you seen people get out of their car, shake the car, open the bonnet, hit it with a hammer, expecting it to happen? We do things which we're in that confused state. And I've seen people during this process and businesses, they're almost confused and they're going through these different things. But then you get into the exploration stage. And again, back to the car analogy, okay, I need to phone my boss, tell him I'm going to be late for work. I need to phone Jerry, who's a mechanic. He can come and whatever. I need to phone Sarah, who can give me a lift. And you start looking at all the different options. And then the last one is you make that commitment. Okay, I need to do this. I need to do that. And as I say, through this process, some people have gone through this change process in an hour, a day, a week, a month. So it's different for all of us. And as I say, every time we hear some more news, I was just explaining earlier to the panel, in South Africa from the 1st of June, we go into level 3, which is a change. So we'll see this in some of our people, and it's about identifying that in the people and helping them through. Because the first two stages are very emotional stages. When you're emotional, you're not logic, or you don't use logic, so you need to change those. So that really is just understanding change. Then how do you keep your team motivated when your team is splintered? I've got currently 250 people laid off. I've got sort of a skeleton staff of managers in each property. How do we keep them motivated? Because it's tough. And the first thing is really show them you care. And these can be little things. It might just be an impromptu phone call. It might be sending a happy birthday message, but it's just showing that you still care about them. Because very soon, we want those people to come back and care for our customers. They won't care for our customers if we don't care for them. Then communication. And how do you communicate? I mean, of those 250 people of mine, they're living in very rural conditions. So the staff, we've actually set up, I've sent a number of bulk SMSs just to them to let them know what's happening. My own direct reports, we have a morning meeting every morning at 9 where we get together on a Zoom meeting and we just communicate some of the things. And then what I find works really nicely is celebrating successes. And that can be, we've made it through 4 weeks of lockdown. It might be that, we've got our first government guest staying with us, but actually celebrate success. And then the last thing we do at our morning meetings each day is we have a bit of fun. We have a lighter side. And that might be 2 weeks ago, we wore different hats every day. So when people were seeing us, we were wearing silly hats. Or what we do every single day now is we have like a little competition after our meeting. So yesterday it was Beat the Intro. We had pop songs and you had to guess what song it was and the artist. Today we were looking at different logos and whatever else. So it's just adding a bit of fun to keep people's spirits up. And then last of all is really, how do we move forward from this? I take it most of you are leaders in one right or another, not necessarily generally in a title, but we must show direction. And whilst there is that uncertainty, even if it's just a little step, be committed to showing direction to your team. And the next point, which we've seen in global leadership, we must be honest at all times. There's no sense lying, but it's better to say, I don't know. And I was asked a question this morning. I said, I don't know, but I'll find out, rather than lying. And again, as leaders, we may be inside, going through turmoil. We may be struggling with this ourselves, but we have to stay strong, because our people are looking at us to give direction, to be that person, to be that rock. And when we are in their face, we need to be that rock. The one thing which I'm working really hard with my team is unlearning the old. Hospitality is a very traditional industry, and we do lots of things that we've done for years and years. We may tweak it a little bit, but now is the time that we've got to unlearn some of that. And where I've got skeleton staff, I heard one of my managers saying, yeah, but the F&B team have got to do this, and the front office team have got to do that. This is changing us. We've got to forget that. We've got to look at our structures. We've look at the roles we do and reinvent almost everything, like we were starting hospitality from new. Because my last point for everybody today is anything is possible. Because who 2 months ago felt all your hotels will be closed? You wouldn't be able to do buffet service again. Some of the things that we're having to cope with, we never ever dreamt about. So that's why I'm saying anything is possible. So look at the building, look at the business, look at your customers. What can we do? Because we have to look at every single option. So for now, that's all from me. Thank you.